across the morning sky. Feel what's on the wind. Find the perfect water and hope the day won't end. Tune into the outside from the inside once again. Listen to the thunder and watch an eagle soar. We call it living inside the great outdoors.
Good morning. Happy Easter. This is Joe Castaway-Coolis. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Good morning. Happy Easter. This is Dr. Norm. Thank you for listening to us this morning. Across the table from me is
Big Daddy, Carl Bachtel. Happy Easter. Hopefully we won't lay any eggs today, but we'll try.
Not to.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Only the chocolate one.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are matching this morning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just
matching
a couple
shirts.
of maroons.
Except I'm long sleeve and he's short sleeves. But two
us.
of mine would fit in one of his.
Yep.
The Burgundy Boys.
That's
the Burgundy
me.
Boys. Yeah, it's a little chilly out there yet, but
It's nice. It's nice. It's refreshing.
yeah, but it was, boy, I couldn't believe the other day, 75 degrees. It got to 80, 82, 75 at night. Wow. And this week's going to be nice. It looks like the cold is over, just the way they're talking.
Oh, you just jinxed it.
Oh, ho, ho, ho,
No,
ho.
it's
Now it's going to snow in 2 weeks.
No. No, it's going to be nice. And well, let's get this medical minute out of the way.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's spring, Joe. You know,
Yep.
anything can happen, you know.
You never know.
You know, Dr. Norm's law of the weather in the spring, you know, it's
Yeah.
you know, this is anytime you go out, it's going to be a 50-50 chance with the weather forecast. You know, it's going to be either wrong or it's going to go wrong, and that's 9 out of 10 times. You know,
And it'll be like, okay, it's going to rain today. They say it's going to rain. Well, then they change. It's going to rain tomorrow. You know, it's going to be
I'm
okay
going to say
today.
it's partly sunny, chance of rain. There, everything's covered.
That's it. If they say that, they can.
and it's
you know.
50-50.
Right.
It either will go wrong or it is wrong. you know?
Well, yeah, they say they're like you said,
You know?
50%, and tomorrow's forecast is 50% of that 50%, and the next day is
And it's
50% of that 50%.
and 9 out of 10
50%.
times that's going to go wrong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What
So
the wind
that's-
can change.
That's my, especially if you have someone, like a buddy of mine flying in from Texas or jaunting in from Arizona. I say, yeah, this weekend's going to be
Yeah,
good. They
right.
said it's going to be good,
Sam Horn
it
wants
never is good. you
Yeah,
know?
Sam Horn wants to get me out for catfish. He said, pick a date. I got to pick a date. You know,
You know it's going to be bad.
you can't. Okay, the June 3rd. Well, yeah. And then it's June 2nd. Why didn't you go June 2nd? Because June 3rd
Well,
is a
it's
storm.
going to be a hurricane coming
So,
in.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but,
Yep.
okay, we'll prolong medical minute because it's going to be a rough one.
Uh-oh.
So we'll do that the next segment. Oh, and Joe Keogh's flying to California. So
California.
he's gallivanting. But we'll get to I'll tell you what, he learns good. This guy learns good. Kept calling at the end of the show and had to cut him short. So now he comes right off the bat.
And you cut him short.
No. Good morning, Hamden.
Okay, well, good talking to you. We got to go to a commercial. Well, gentlemen, I'm humbled. And I don't know, I'm in some kind of like surfboard catch that wave groove with you guys for early morning hike. For having me in.
this gentleman that took me fishing this week, Mike from Aurora Lake, said of all the caller that he listens to, he loves Hamden Bob.
Well,
He
we can
thinks he is
fix
the
that.
best caller with his vocabulary, and he just think that Hamden is the best guy.
Well,
So-
if he's from the Aurora Lake, is that by chance a renamed Geauga Lake area? By
It's in
chance,
that
'cause-
area.
They're
It's right
different.
nearby.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
then he was a victim to witnessing how you can train dolphins and killer whales from the old, SeaWorld
Oh,
days.
yeah.
So I've been trained to
I'll tell you, I
sometimes
drove
come
by
off
there.
as semi-literate, you
Oh
know.
man, it's all you see are these condominiums, and
Yeah.
oh my God,
Hey,
What
you
do
know,
call 'em?
What
I know condominium.
never mind.
Never mind.
It's-
Okay.
I almost said the other word, but
Oh,
okay.
you did say the other word.
I
You
did.
say the
Well, like
Okay, well,
like I
I'm not-
told
today I am
Indians,
not
didn't
with
he?
it.
Or
Yeah.
what
And if
did
I get through
Condom
today,
minimums.
it'll be a
Well,
miracle. So anyway, we'll talk.
like
about
I
that
like
later.
I told Lenny, your cruise director / show arranger this morning. You know, the show is family. Some days it could be the Charlie Manson family, but it's still family, and we run it
Okay,
nicely.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You know, I just wanted to share with you. I don't know if you guys knew this about me because I really don't speak of it much. Yesterday, it has nothing to do with ducks, fish, bird spotting, but yesterday was the 30th anniversary of Alfred P. Murrah, Oklahoma City bombing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. they
And
have
I
a
was-
lot on the
I
news.
worked that.
You're
I
kidding.
worked that.
Oh.
No, I'm not kidding. We don't speak of it much, but this might give you a basis and backdrop on why they call me the whoopee guy
So
at
what did
work
you do?
I ended up getting a strike team dumped in my lap after the kid that was leading it kind of had some pause, and I just told him, get on my six, you're still in charge. His chief put us in. We were all a mixed company of regulars from the different states and the mutual aid, working out of the mutual aid CP. And Chief Harvey Weathers from Oklahoma City had me come after speaking with him, God rest his soul. Southwest flew me there, no charge, and so the following year I paid to go back to see it finished because you never leave till it's done, and we had to pull out.
So what did you
But-
physically work with?
Right in. We were physically involved. We had decorum, though, as we would expose and reveal. Oklahoma City Fire Department came in to humbly remove their people. We had code. But we had New York City Technical Rescue, who got basically wiped out in 9/11, working ahead of us.
How soon after it happened did you go?
I can remember, believe it or not, people telling me, don't go, you're not going to come back right. And I looked at them and I says, hey, two things. Number one, I'm already not right. And I had little children, and I told them if I don't go, I won't be right. So because of what I was doing for a living and the other career vertical construction skills, you didn't know what you were going to encounter.
So this wasn't electrical.
No. This was
Oh.
all S&R, search and rescue. Our USAR teams from Ohio were already there, and the other states.
So you did search
Urban
and rescue
search.
before you did electrical?
I did it concurrent. We were trained.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. Well, essentially, I did it concurrent. I picked it up along with. It was
Okay.
crazy. But all that aside,
You
I
gotta
can remember
be
being at
mentally
the.
strong boy.
Well, here's what I think about that, and then I'll get back with the story real quick. I didn't mean to divert, but it was just
Yeah.
you look at what a problem is
It's one of your
after
days,
seeing
like-
these things, and
like-
you have a
yes.
reckoning.
Yeah, it's a day.
But
you
as
never
far as
forget.
mentally tough, look, I always taught my people, my crews, we bend, we don't break.
Yeah.
We are specialists in the obscene, and it's a long war on your career doing it. You have to be able to have ventilation, there you go.
Yeah,
You
I
got to
remember that
be able
one.
to have ventilation of the mind
Yeah.
to release. If you don't vent your mind, to the right people,
Yeah.
you will look like a suitcase from the old days that was overpacked and it blew open. The latches failed as you took it to the airport to check it in for the airliner. You don't want that.
Yeah.
So mentally tough is a perspective. Everybody has degrees of mental toughness for specialty areas. Find yours, you know,
You
and
have
let it
to
let it
be
grow.
able to
Yeah.
do things.
And we take
in
care
life.
of each other. Yeah, we take care of each other. You know, you come to find out you're a trained psychologist, psychoanalyst, psychiatrist, and a bartender,
Wow.
all wrapped up in one. You know what I mean? You've got to live. You don't want to be walking dead. But that's the objective on the toughness thing.
Well, somebody has
a
to
guy
do
could,
it, you know.
well, you just can't say no. It's got to be taken care of. And again, the highest crime, everybody that bought it there, 168 of them, and I can't believe that's all. The highest crime they committed that day was going there. That's an unfortunate shame.
Yeah.
And our mission was to bring them home. That's all they wanted.
What did they lose? Like 20 children in that nursery or something there?
I believe 16 or 18.
Oh, okay.
And we're bouncing on this thing. The gentleman, at the time he was an LT, he was a lieutenant, Chris Fields, out of Oklahoma City 1, where they graciously had me rack out, stay with him. He carried little Bailey Allman. He was the poster boy. She was the poster girl early on at the event. She was a little lifeless girl with the hanging sock and the, obvious rough look.
Yeah.
And I got to sit and try to eat a breakfast with him at Oklahoma City 1. And we talked, and his big mission was, I was amazed he spoke with me. But he said, Bob, I wanted none of this. I wanted no press notoriety. I didn't want that picture. I didn't want her to be in my arms.
Yeah.
But he took care of business with that little girl. It was genuine. And all he yearned for was to get back with his family. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay? But he took care of it. And he shunned the limelight. He didn't want any of that. So it was a humbling privilege. Here's what struck me yesterday. The boot recruit rookies at Oklahoma City 1 that I came in contact with, it's ironic. Here we are, survived all these years later. Some of them, maybe most of them, it's a hard business, have been reaching their retirement points criteria to retire from it.
Wow.
And I met them when they were all formed in the nightmare crucible of that event. That was their rookie call. That was their rookie start to their time in the fire service. Yes, but all good strikers, they held. And even me, I mean, you don't know anything till you're doing it some days.
Yeah.
And the one night we'd go long. We didn't want to leave off of it. But we would come off the building, go through the U.S. Army decontamination unit for our gear.
Yeah.
And I wore it back on and wanted to walk just to clear my head 5 blocks back to Oklahoma City 1 at night. And the craziest thing I encountered down there, number 1, there was no crime. Number 2, we would go, you couldn't sleep, you were wound up.
Sure.
Coming off the shift. We would go on wildfire runs. We would go on runs with them.
Wow.
And I'm walking home, walking back to Oklahoma City 1, and I'm passing up what they call the package store, where we bend the alcohol whoopee materials and whatnot. And this poor, disheveled cat comes out at me out of an alley next to the store, and I'm thinking, this ain't going to be good, you know?
Yeah.
This poor guy, as white as he was, stuck his paw out, come up to me. And I was in all my fire gear, letting it air dry.
Yeah.
And he thanked me for being there.
Wow.
He thanked me for being there. As rough shape as this cat was, he thanked me for being there, and he thanked me for what I was doing. And I damn near bust out bawling. I didn't cry until I was in the shower on night number 3. I wanted to let go, and I didn't want anybody to see me do it. And I cracked it open in the shower, and actually got some tears out because, again, that venting for the mind, But we weren't allowed to stay to finish. The only post-bombing fatality was a nurse. And the circumstances of how she bought it were, everything was tight-lipped. No photos, no nothing, no talking to press, nothing. We kept it tight. But after that happened, they started paring down what we would call mutual aid companies, mutual aid responders, just reining it down as the building was getting more under control. And trust me, it got worse structurally as you cleared debris. That was helping hold it up. But we ended up going home, and you never leave till something's finished. So I did go back a year later to see it cleared off.
Good.
My understanding was it only took 68 pounds of well-placed engineered explosives to bring that house down.
Wow.
Only 68 pounds. And that was pretty amazing. So all that aside, and again, I didn't want this to dominate, but I didn't know if you guys knew that about me. It does help you guys understand
That's another
the fog of
surprise,
Hamden Bob. Oh, yeah. Now you know why this is just one incident in life that shapes my humor level, obtuse, wacko, the whole nine. But like Joe said, like Joe Keough said, Hamden Bob, he's a whack job. But, he's our whack job.
Exactly.
I was comforted.
Yeah.
I was comforted.
That's good.
So all that aside, let's shift it back into the here and now and the Ohio and go, okay, I think we can allow some better weather maybe to come in.
You got it.
We're looking for
Hey, and I know the Pope's going to hack at you with an Easter update. Maybe he's running a bunny bucket special today. I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
But, gentlemen, thank you so much for being live on the holiday you're doing without to be here with us. I thank you profusely, and the 1420 Wildman, Lenny, all of you, okay?
Very good. Appreciate the
Thanks,
call.
Bob.
Hope
You're
have a
our
nice
favorite
Easter.
mensch.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Bob.
I feel humbled and bushwhacked. Thank
There
you,
you
Dr.
go.
Norm. You are the sniper. Carl, if you don't fish, you don't survive.
Mensch
So
means
always
a
remember that.
man of honor, a person of honor, actually. Did you
Well,
know
I
that?
am. I've cut it with the Gefelta brothers. I understand, man.
Very, very good.
And we got this.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks for the call, Bob.
I'm going to issue. Hey, thanks for taking it. I'm going to issue you a formal toodles. We
All right.
warmed it up for the Pope,
Good.
and later.
See ya.
We'll see.
Bye.
Bob. Thanks.
Okay, and that was a surprise. All right, we'll take a break and we'll be back.
Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my darling, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right.
Whether you're a novice or a well-seasoned angler, if you want that extra edge in catching more fish, you want one of the many species of Kodiak scent. Made from real bait fish, Kodiak fishing scents are made from pure freeze-dried bait. Freeze-drying enhances the scent considerably, making it the most potent fishing scent available to the fishermen today. It comes in many flavors, including shad, crayfish, salmon egg, and the most popular, minnow. Add the paste to your lures, it really sticks. And when a fish hits, it doesn't let go. And if you use tube jigs, try the tube injector. This handy syringe is made especially to be inserted into a tube jig. Kodiak fishing scents are now available online at Castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. If you want to catch fish, you want Kodiak from Coulis.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. This is Easter Sunday edition of Inside the Great Outdoors. Going to the phone lines. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Wonderful.
Happy Easter.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hamden said
Wow.
you were going to call us.
Oh, well, yeah, I thought I better get on it. I'm going to sneak out here and go to church here.
Yeah.
But just having a little coffee and bacon, watching the birds and the squirrels come in. Got the But I wanted to call in, wish you guys happy Easter, and hope everything's going good.
Yep.
Shoo-wee.
How's perch fishing?
Perch fishing is a little slow right now. Not everybody's out jigging for the walleyes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And but they are what they are doing is jigging up a few big perch when they get them.
Yeah.
So
They're jigging
hopefully.
up perch?
Well, yeah, as they're jigging for the walleye, they end up getting
Really?
perch along with it. Yeah.
Are they tipping the jigs with minnows, or what are they?
Well, see, I always when I'm not the best jigger in the world, but when I jig, I start off with a minnow, and then I know the only way I know I'm doing good jigging is if I'm snagging the bottom or bouncing on the bottom, and usually the minnow doesn't stay on there very long. You know what I mean?
Something hits it.
But I got to go out the other day. That was fun. And now I'm in the process of tearing out a boat and got to figure out. You guys know what to do when you like I got the boat out here. I tore the the tank out, and I got about 6 or 7 gallons of old gas. What do you do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's right.
There's places where you can dispose of old gas.
Gas?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Are there old gas?
I didn't know about
I
gas.
don't know. You'd have to
That's a
maybe
good
call one
question.
of the fire departments and see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
maybe.
question. What, Carl?
Yeah, I was sitting there.
Yeah.
I could, other than in the old days, I know I shouldn't say this, but the old days that'd be weed killer, right? But we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, you could dump it in the backyard someplace
you could dump
don't
it or you
know,
could
but
burn
I
it.
wouldn't do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
I just had this I just had this conversation with my mother-in-law why I don't like rhubarb. And now rhubarb seems like, and they make rhubarb pie, it seems like it really should be good, but back at the corner of our garage is where it grew. The same spot that we always dump the oil.
I know my dad used to do that. Old gas, that's where it went. And
I love
then
rhubarb.
he'd plant the garden right next to it. You know?
Exactly. Well, see, then I'd see the neighbor's dog walk over there and water it all the time, and I'm thinking, I'm not eating rhubarb. You know what I mean? It's been marinated by the neighbor's dog.
Tomatoes, you know.
That's funny. Yeah, you could light them on fire.
No, they were red usually.
But
it says I did a search in the old Google machine and about disposing of old gasolino.
Yeah.
And it says to take it to your local county household hazardous waste collection program.
Oh, okay.
So your county should have someplace. I don't know
What
where
do
you
they
have
do
a
with
county.
They could burn it.
They just dump it in the sewer. No, I'm just.
Oh, jeez.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm joking.
No, they
Just
probably
making sure
have.
people are awake out there.
Yeah, they probably have the ability to burn it. That would be the only thing you can do.
Put it in the atmosphere, you know.
Right. So what you're saying is I go to the neighbors, behind the neighbor's garage?
There you go.
Yeah, put on the neighbor's rhubarb.
Lord have mercy.
Don't kill that rhubarb. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's funny. I just can't. There's certain things I can't do as an adult, or anymore. But rhubarb seems like it should be wonderful, right? Rhubarb pie and everything else. But
pie. I have rhubarb sauce all the time. I just make it into a sauce and have it like a little side dish.
These guys have rhubarb colored jerseys on today.
Right. But not all rhubarb is the rhubarb I'm growing is green. It don't.
I got you.
It's a green variety.
Yeah.
And but I love rhubarb sauce.
But when he makes the sauce, it turns black. So that's.
Yeah, I was going to be nice on Easter, but yeah.
Nice on Easter? Nah.
No,
I have to be consistently evil.
Right.
Well, the good news is I did find another trailer, Carl. Let me know what size trailer you need.
Okay.
I did find a good size, nice trailer that somebody gave me, but I had to get rid of the boat on top of it.
Uh-huh.
And so now the HOA is, if you listen, you can hear them stewing because I've got 2 boats in my driveway right now.
Yeah, somebody sent us a text on Channel 3 about this hoarder in the Huron community that's got 17
Yes.
boats in his yard.
Yes. Oh my God.
And
Well,
I
that
asked
the
him if
neighbor.
his name's Mike, and he said, "How did you know?"
I actually had 3 in my where I used to live in this little backyard.
Let's see.
You know.
Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Really?
A canoe,
Wow.
a sailboat,
Yeah.
another boat that my wife's grandfather made, my boat, and my son bought a Grumman. What are those boats called? They're like a canoe, but they're a boat.
The
Oh, those
stern
are
end,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The big
They got a little
one.
flat on the back,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you put
yeah,
a
you put the motor
you put a
on it.
motor on. it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
bought one of those
Well,
for
they
like
used to call them
$300.
freighter canoes. That's what the.
You want to watch those. They sink.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful of those. They don't have
Oh.
a lot of flotation in them.
Well, yeah, you put that big motor on the back. I'm guessing.
Nah, it's got a little motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a big
they,
guy at the
they
back
do
end.
sink.
Not me.
Oh, okay.
He won't take
Well-
me fishing.
What are they
No.
called? We used to have one of those.
I can't get out of
I
the
can't
seat.
think of the name of them.
Good. All righty.
Anyways, well, yeah, it's funny you say that about the three boats. The neighbor lady, Trudy, we call her in Trudy. She come over there and she's got the paper with the laws on the stuff we're not supposed to have. Anyways, yeah, Trudy. And Trudy comes over and she says, 2 boats now, huh? And I said, well, hey, don't get excited until you see the third one. And yeah, she burst into flames and ran across the cul-de-sac. So yeah, I have fun with her.
Room, huh?
Right.
I feel bad. I used to have 5 in the backyard.
There you go.
But I had
bunch of
6.
holes.
One was in the shed, so it didn't
Yeah.
stand out that much. Plus
Right.
the canoe.
Well, we're moving
Well,
to
hey-
go around, so.
There you go. I hope you all have get to have a nice dinner and spend some time with family and friends and whatever today. And you all have a happy Easter. And thank you for doing what all you do.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks,
thanks,
man. Happy
thanks,
Easter,
thanks
brother.
for the
Yeah.
call.
All right.
Have a good
All right,
one.
bud.
Take care, man.
Take care, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wow. Yeah. So
I'm
what-
still looking for these gentlemen around here.
Gentlemen.
Man, we got the boat. Yeah, the boat hoarders.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Wow. So
It
he
seemed
won't
like
take
they
you
all
fishing,
disappeared except one. I just have 2 in a canoe in the yard. One is Dell's.
There you go.
Well, actually, come to think of it, I do have 3. One's in the garage, one's in the barn, and one is a inflatable. But it's got mice got to it, and so it's
My son's yelling at me. He's
I bet.
listening this
Sport
morning.
canoe. Is that a sport canoe?
Sport boat.
Sport boat.
sport
Yeah.
boat.
It's very stable.
Yeah,
The,
yeah. But tell them
uh,
to be careful.
he-
There's not a lot of
said,
flotation in that boat.
100. It's a Grumman sport boat, 15-footer, rated for 1,000 pounds or 5 people.
5
And-
people.
Yeah, it's a long one. It's a long boat. It's long.
Those are nice boats.
Mhm.
We had one in.
He
that
said
we
he
used in
wanted to
Canada.
go fishing with me today, but I had to do the radio show and go to work later.
You gotta work today?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
What do you mean, of course?
of course.
Mm.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, but you would think that with your longevity there,
Boy, he got a deal
Mm.
for $100.
300
A lot of
bucks?
fish.
300,
Is that what he paid?
$300
for?
bucks.
Oh, $300.
Yeah, it's worth about
I can't hear
3
this
grand.
morning.
What?
hey, I got a 4th boat. I got the boat I bought from you.
Mm-hmm. See,
How did you get in that one?
you're a hoarder and don't even know it.
Yeah, how did you get in that boat?
Very gingerly.
You can never have too many boats.
It's
That's
it's
what I
true.
It's very rocky. It's very tippy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I bought it.
It worked.
Yeah, but boy,
Worked for me.
Wow.
Worked enough for me. Well
Yeah.
enough.
There is one rivet that leaks. I
Mhm.
think I know which one it is, but I gotta work it. And you can't buy one rivet. You gotta buy like a whole big huge kit. But I think I know which one it is because I wanted to sell it. But I mean, I guess I could sell it as is and let them worry about
Just
fixing
one
it,
rivet?
but One rivet,
Yeah.
rivet.
I figured you'd have more frogs than that out there.
No. I'm not hearing the frogs.
No, I'm not hearing them either.
I am.
Oh,
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Huh.
I hear them during the daytime even.
Ooh, wow. Okay, well, we got to take a break.
They went away, and now they're coming back.
Oh, good. It's nice and sunny out. It's going to be not a real warm, but it's going to be a pretty nice day. So we'll take a break and be back.
Mm-hmm.
What?
If you troll for walleye, steelhead, or even salmon, you need to check out Castaway's Magnetic Divers. The release is magnetic, so if it trips accidentally, no need to retrieve it. Simply give the line slack, it sinks and resets itself automatically. When fishing is slow, trip the diver when trolling. It will come up through the water column and very often trigger a strike because you are now covering different depths. It can be set to go off to the right, left, or straight behind the boat. It comes in 3 sizes and different colors. Why not try one today? You can order them online at Castaway.com. That's Castaway.com with a K. You will not only improve your fishing success, but will make trolling fun again because of no more retrieving after a false release. That's Castaway's Magnetic Diver at www.castaway.com with a K.
Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Well, I got to get this done because I don't know if I'll make it. So, see, it's bad already. Doggone it. So when Tuesday, I had to put Baron to sleep. Boy, is that rough, Doc.
I know.
Jeez.
I hope I was preparing you for it. I've been preparing you for months here.
But it was so fast. Day before he was dragging his back legs. He was alert and everything. In a way, it was somewhat lucky because I called the vet that's been giving him the shots, and she says I can get you some medicine, might help. I said, well, it's worth a try. She says, well, 50-50. So she says I'll send it. So I thought, well, I don't want to wait. So I wrote to her I could meet her or something, and so then she says, I'm going to be in the area. I could drop it off. I said, oh, good. She said, I'll be there in 25 minutes. Well, and before that, I had to leave the house because I couldn't take it with him. So came back, and it was worse. I tried to lift him. Well, he's heavy. Whew. It wouldn't. He couldn't stand. So I knew. So I'm thinking, she's coming. I bet she has the right medicines. We need to end it. So she came in, looked, and agreed. And so I was lucky that I had somebody that could come, because to go through a day of that, or 2 days of that, because when I wrote to her, she said she would have to work it in or schedule it. Well, scheduling it? No. So I didn't have time to think. That was the only good thing. I can't believe why I'm having such a hard time. It's like, but it was just him and I. So sorry about this, but I don't know how long it'll last, but so all the people, we talked so much about them, so, oh shoot. You guys talk. I don't want listeners to have to go through this, so.
It's all right. We're all here with you.
You know, we're all with you, you know.
Pulling for you. And
It's hard enough to have to do this, too, on our side of the table,
I bet.
you know. Because, we have known these owners for 10, 15, sometimes 18, 20 years. And when you have to put an animal to sleep, it's so hard on the owners. And sometimes they bring the kids with them. And, you know, we spend a lot of time. I would always spend a lot of time with the owners and with the kids. And, you know, we usually would sedate the animal. Whether it was, I don't care if it was a rabbit, if it was a turtle, a guinea pig, a cat, or a dog. And we'd sedate them first. So, you know, they'd be a nana land before we would give them the solution to put them to sleep. And it's very rapid. Once that needle hits the vein, boom, that's it.
It was within a minute.
Yeah, it's very rapid, and they don't feel a thing. It's a barbiturate that we give them, sodium pentobarbital, and you know, it's like an they used to use it as an anesthetic agent years ago, and it was used even on people, you know, around the turn of the century and things, and it's
I was
very
surprised
rapid.
how much that they used. It was quite a bit.
It probably, on a dog that size, she probably used, like, you always give them more than the recommended dose,
okay.
you know.
You
So
don't want
I
it
would
to-
say on Baron she used maybe 8 to 10 cc's of that, you know. And it's usually colored. It's usually
was pink.
red.
Or
Pink,
red.
pink or red
yeah.
or whatever.
Well, it looked pink in the tube.
You know, normally it's a clear color, but it's usually red. So, you know, we know that that's bad stuff, you know.
Oh, is that why?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So, but it's very, very rapid, and it's very humane.
Yeah, it you did just puts them to sleep slowly, you know.
Mhm.
Took a while.
And you give it, you give it slowly, and they just fall asleep, and they slowly stop breathing. The heart stops. They stop.
Yeah.
All central nervous system
She said he might
activity
take some
stops.
gas, but he didn't. But the sedative was just, it took a while, maybe 10 minutes, but just slowly. And he fought, putting his head down. But it's like a family because it was only he and I.
It would be like just if you were getting anesthesia, you get a sedative.
Oh,
and
really?
We would give them, you know, a combination of like Valium. I'd give them a combination of Valium and ketamine, and that's basically what they give us if we're going to get a big general anesthetic.
Yeah.
And that takes, you know, 5-10 minutes, and you're in pretty much nana land at that time.
Yeah.
And then give them the barbiturate afterwards.
Well, he was fine. It just he couldn't walk. So,
Well, you know, it could have been that initially some degenerative myelopathy,
but so fast.
but he probably had a clot in that spinal cord. I don't know if it was a disc. These big dogs don't get that many intervertebral discs, but they do get these clots that happen in the spinal cord itself. They're called, well, I'm just throwing things out, but it could have been like what's called a fibrocartilaginous infarct in the spinal cord, and they're not painful, but they're very destructive.
Right. Yeah.
They're not in a lot of pain with those infarcts.
No, he was getting
They just
around
can't
fine.
use their back ends.
Exactly.
And, you know,
That's
you can put
exactly.
them on steroids for 2 weeks, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to get any better.
Exactly. And if you're going to have to deal with it, get it
And,
done.
you know, they don't know if they're going to the bathroom, and sometimes they can't go to the bathroom. They can't urinate. They don't know when they're defecating.
Well, when I tried to
and
lift him, I couldn't lift him.
And you know, if you're in that
stand.
situation at home, you can, you know, slip a beach towel if it's a small dog, or a blanket if it's a big dog, and then try and lift them that way rather than trying to hold them up with your hands.
That's what I tried.
Yeah.
And
that's
it was,
the best
but
way.
So
Almost
fast.
pick them up like it would be with the suitcase.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a knife through butter. You know, that spinal cord is not tough organs. Well, you know yourself. You know, nervous tissue is like butter. It's jelly.
Yeah, that's what I was, because it was one day, and then the next day it was like, oh no, it can't be that fast.
It's
but
that fast.
It's like 4,000 mornings and 4,000, and he was always right next to me. I just hope it gets better. So thank
It'll
you
get
guys.
better, Joe.
It will.
Well, it's better than having them suffer with something else.
Oh,
you know?
for these last couple weeks,
some of these animals have these, you know, terrible cancers they go through, just like people, and it takes a long time, and you're looking at them suffering, you know, with bone cancer or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
this,
that's
This is quick, and it was quick for him, and it was quick for you. You had some time with his arthritis, but that you can go through. But
yeah,
this was
he was
probably
getting the shots.
I think he was having some problems with that degenerative spinal cord disease. Then he probably got an infarct, and that was like getting shot in the spine.
Oh, okay. Because he got, it's about 3 months that you was getting him that, and it was I noticed
a little bit, but not.
Yes.
These last shots weren't helping that much.
Yeah, but
probably.
it did. Well, the first one did. What I did notice, he was really alert. His ears were up, and he would come down into the trophy room, make the circle, go back up, come down the stairs.
He probably felt better.
Yes,
you know, but
yes, he did.
Body-wise, he wasn't as
like
good as you'd like to see.
Treating the symptoms and not the
that's a
lot
not
of
the
what it is.
Right.
Problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with arthritis in people. You treat the symptoms and
still not 100%.
Problem lingers and lingers.
Right,
it's definitely not 100%.
I'm glad it was fast because for him to suffer.
No,
that's not good.
And you know, you had him for at least 10 years.
Yeah, it was
13?
I would say almost 12.
12, yeah.
March 23rd.
You started
for a German Shepherd. That's really
good. That's a long time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I forget when you started seeing me. I've been, retired for 8 years now, and you had to see me at least 2 or 3 years before that.
Yeah.
At least 3 probably.
Yeah.
You're right. It was
so it's been a long time.
Yeah. But you get used to. I look and he's not there. That's.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, it's a big part of your life.
It is. It is. So, but I went fishing the next day, and today I'll just take it easy too. And anyways, I got through it.
You done it.
You did good.
Whew.
You did good, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't think I would.
You made it.
Yeah, I made it. Now I got to think of good things. So, we'll take a break.
You can think of Barron. He's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little video.
The cherished memories of a dog well loved. Right?
You got it.
You were
and you've had
very,
other dogs.
Very blessed to have them. You were so lucky. I told you when you first got that dog, I was sitting on pins and needles. I thought, oh my God.
Why?
He got some scraggly dog from some farmer out in Lorain County.
Yeah.
I'm crossing myself saying, oh, Harry's going to come in and the dog's going to rip my arm off or something.
Really?
And he went up on a table, and I looked him over, and he was just absolutely a gentleman.
Really?
He
Good
was.
dog.
You know, we pulled blood from him. Remember, I drew blood and no heartworm. Gave him his shots, trimmed his nails, and we had no problems with him. He got up on the table. Remember that?
Wow. Huh.
I said, boy, are you lucky.
Yeah, you kept saying that. Kept saying that. Oh, cool. All right, time for a break. We got to talk about fishing and about,
there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah. We're going to talk. I hate to see you go because I'm going to talk about primitive man, and you would know a lot about this. You know?
I'll hear the very beginning of it. What's up next? Oh, we're just we're
45 minutes away from 8:30.
Oh.
Feel the rhythm, moving closer, lay it on me, I'm King Kong. What about Mary? She's contrary.
Do you enjoy a good story about hunting or fishing? Then you need to get your hands on Tales from the Trails, the real-life adventures of Castaway Coulis. Take a journey around the world with Joe as he recounts some of his best hunting and fishing trips, from Africa to Alaska, from behind the Iron Curtain to Australia. You can share in his memories through the book, complete with pictures to take you on the journey. It's a trip back in time looking through the eyes of an outdoors legend. Order your copy today on Amazon or at castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K.com. Thanks for listening to the Inside the Great Outdoors podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or stories you'd like to share, shoot us an email at jcoulis@castaway.com. That's Castaway with a K. We'll share your comments with our audience on the following week's show. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Great Outdoors.
Welcome back. You're listening to Inside the Great Outdoor. It's nice and sunny. I saw in the news, this is pretty cool, Doc. They have been able to grow a tooth.
Grow a tooth?
So in the future, and it would be, you would grow it in your mouth, but they were able to do it in a lab. Now, I don't know how far away it is. But I thought, boy, wouldn't that be something where you could, because you get, and isn't this with dogs? Are they born with one set of teeth and they lose them and they get another?
Yeah, most mammals do that.
Why? Why can't they lose the good ones and get another set? Did you ever?
Well, they have two sets of teeth. They got their baby teeth and they have their adult teeth come in.
Oh, so they're in behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think all mammals do that.
Really?
Yeah. Dogs do.
Well, wouldn't that be good if they
Cats
could do that
do.
with humans? Really?
Yeah. Humans do. Monkeys do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think all mammals do.
Oh.
Everybody's got two sets of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And when they wear out, like a lot of these, like elephants and stuff, if their teeth wear out, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Especially because they grind a lot with their teeth.
Do they?
Now humans, they can get by with losing their teeth and still mash their food and eat it and stuff.
Okay, yeah. And now they do the implants and all
They
the
do
other.
all kinds of fancy stuff now.
But to be able to grow a tooth, isn't that cool?
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know how far away, but they did it. So it's. But with all the new technology,
I wonder where they get the seeds from.
From their babies.
Jiffy pots.
Let's go to the phone lines. We got somebody. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, did Joe's dog die?
Yep.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Oh, is this you, Joe?
Yeah, it's me.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's Joan, the dog lover.
Yeah.
Joe, I cried more when my dog Mercedes died than when my own mother died.
You know what? Exactly the same thing.
I'm sorry to say that, but these animals have a way of taking over our hearts.
That's because my mother's been gone for a while too, but it's because it's a family member it was somebody that was right next to me, right physically, constantly.
Yes, and there's so many things you could list. But I did want to go on a dog rant, if you don't mind.
Sure.
First of all, everybody there, Happy Easter.
Same to you.
Whichever way people celebrate it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for the loss of your dog, but don't hesitate to go get another one. Don't wait too long.
Yeah.
You're never too old to get another dog. But anyway, my dog, I'm going to go on an Easter Sunday dog rant. I went to No, you've all heard the expression, you could catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar, right? That means it's better to be kind to people than to be nasty.
Yeah.
Well, I went to this dog training class Friday night where they instructed us all to bring water bottles filled with distilled vinegar to spray in our dog's face to correct them. And I was doing everything in my power to keep my butt on that chair and not go over and take that lady by the throat. I know that this is a new thing now. I looked it up online. Apparently, a lot of people are spraying vinegar in dogs' faces now.
Really?
Vinegar is acid.
Yeah.
It's right. Exactly. I called my vet and said, you got to get me a letter to get me the beep, since we're on the radio, out of there, because they won't let you out unless you have a letter from your vet. And I said, this dog was thrown out of a truck window in Tennessee, ate sticks and grass and weeds until somebody found it, shipped to Ohio, sat in a filthy ASPCA kennel till I came along and adopted it.
Yeah.
It took months just to get it to trust. And now you're going to tell us, and can you imagine this to all of you, because I know you all have had dogs, 20 people in one room, all of us with spray bottles, with puppies and dogs spraying left and right. What a chaotic room that's going to be next Friday. And I will not be there.
Just take
because
wouldn't water do the same thing, Doc?
Well,
you shouldn't do it at all.
I would never do that. And a lot of people, and this is in a lot of books and everything, for ear infections, they tell you to put vinegar in the ears to treat ear infections. Now you got an inflamed ear. Would you want anybody, say you got an infection in your ear, it's all red, open wounds, you put some vinegar in that ear.
Oh, boy.
Man, that's going to hurt like hell, No, you don't do that.
Even get it on your fingers. Your fingers
it burns. You don't do that. What if you get that vinegar in their eyes? You're spraying vinegar. That's stupid.
Well, I'm going to be an advocate like Carl was for pick up your gloves off when you're fishing. I'm going to be an advocate to get this we're spraying dogs shut down, because I'm going to take over where Dick Goddard left off, and I'm going to find out all the schools that are doing this and tell them, you must not really know much about a canine. If this is the way you're going to train it, you train it with
the correct way to do it.
Well, I would spray vinegar in that trainer's face and see how he or she likes it.
Yeah.
What would you suggest then as a way to teach
Go
a
ahead.
dog to listen?
I'm going to tell you, that's negative training. You want to use positive training.
Okay.
Yes,
and however you want to do that, one thing, get them hungry.
Yeah.
Get them hungry and positive train them with treats.
Okay.
Treats all day.
Yeah, that
and
worked with Darren
get them,
to get him back into
hungry.
the car. I'd feed him in
You
the
know,
bed.
the biggest thing
And then he
about
would go
dog
back
training,
They're going to love you,
Yeah.
But
We
not
need
that. That's,
train.
I
Wow.
take a squirt gun, fill it with vinegar, and
Oh
spray
my
that trainer
God,
in the
I never could.
Well,
But
you
the
gotta-
biggest thing that needs to be trained in dog training is the human.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The human
Exactly.
Everybody see
You
anybody
can't say,
with their
come on up on the couch, buddy, and then the wife says, get off the couch.
right.
You got to no. The humans have
You
to
have to
say
be
these are the
consistent.
rules for the
Right.
dog, and
You
we're
have to
all
be
doing.
consistent, and you have to be patient.
Patience
Yeah.
is a virtue.
And the love you're going to get back from that dog is. But Joe, I'm so sorry for your broken heart.
Yeah.
Your dog is up there with my Mercedes, my Kelly, my Ruby. There's like 5 of them. But now I have a dog named Mary, just so people will say, Mary? You named your dog Mary?
Yeah.
And they say it every time. And it's a name.
Cool.
But if you say you named your dog Mary, you get a lot of reactions.
Well, if I get another dog, I'm going to name it Joe.
Well, you guys have a good day. And, Joe, get my number from Carl. And if you cry or you need an ear to talk to, call me.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good.
Joe.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Vinegar. Huh. Boy, oh boy.
Well, I see people sometimes walking their, puppies, and they're yelling at them. It's like, the
That
dog's
doesn't
not
help.
going to respond to that.
No.
And, they'll cower and things but that's not going to do you any good in the long run. It means when they're older, they're just going to hide from you,
Yeah.
Then you'll sit there and I wonder why the dog won't come to me. It's like, really?
Wow.
You treat them like,
Sure.
they're doing something wrong all the time, then you got to be patient.
And they sense
That's
it.
the biggest thing is patience. You got to have patience.
Yes, yeah, it's not easy, but I don't think I'd get another dog. I don't think so. I look at the bright side. I can go fishing now and don't have to worry. I could stay out all day.
You ought to get a cat, Joe.
I did think of that. I did think of
You
that.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Poops in a box.
yeah, I thought of that. But it was well, we're
Put
coming.
the
It'll
cat-
sleep with you.
Cat can stay in the chicken coop.
Yeah. Boy, the I don't have eggs for you guys.
Catch
again.
mice.
It's they're molting. I ran out of water, and the whole thing. They're slowly getting a little better, but boy, they really slowed down. But was it this week or last week? I got coyote number 9, but I got a picture. I don't know if it's the female out feeding, but I got one still around. So, but the finally saw some turkeys. Boy, they've been scarce, and it seems though I've usually seen more by this time of the year. I don't know.
Did you see a bunch or a
No,
flock? Or just
no.
a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. In fact, it was a gobbler with 3 hens, but only one day. And so I don't know, but
We saw some deer by the house yesterday.
Boy, I saw a big one here this morning.
There was
and
a
it was
big
a
doe.
buck.
Really?
I think it was a doe. It was big though. It was a big one.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has a fawn nearby or something.
They're not born yet.
Not quite yet.
No. Soon.
But this morning when I got up, I saw 3 of them in the same area. So they're just hanging out in a little wooded area.
This was way in the back. It was a big bodied deer, and it was a buck because, it was feeding, and then, I pulled up in the truck. It looked at me, looked at the truck. I opened the door. It looked up.
Yeah.
Closed the door. It looked.
Yeah.
It
You
was
could tell by
looking
their
at me.
face. You
can
see.
tell by their motions that
and
it's a
and
buck.
their body, their skull.
and they're
I mean,
looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
A female would just be
right.
eating.
Okay. Well, we got to take a break. 1 hour's down. Got 2 to go. So it's on an Easter Sunday. We'll take a break and be back.
Come listen to my story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Then